would you say are the main challenges when we're communicating the climate issue?
Well, climate change is a complicated topic to talk about because it's big, it's complex, it's long in time. So you have a cause here and then you have an effect years later, and the effects are in different places than the causes. And this is something that our brains are not really built to capture. So we are made for solving like problems that are where we are and that are within a relatively short time span, and that we are really good at. And the complicated things where we need to adjust something to a negative outcome that is somewhere else and that affects somebody else, we are not particularly good at doing.
You talked in your speech about making the issues closer to people. Do you have any examples how that could work?
Yeah, what research shows is that if you want to have an effect with climate communication, it's best to actually connect it to where people live. So if you can show that something that most likely is related to climate change happens where they live and that affects something that they care about, then they are more likely to do something about it. For example, people that experience the flooding are more willing to do something about climate change. Or people that experienced like the last very hot and dry summer in southern Norway, where suddenly the green grass was yellow and brown, that also opens some doors for communication.
Do you have a big not to do when it comes to climate communication?
Well, I would say the biggest not to do is scare people without giving them advice for what to do. So a certain level of seriousness is necessary. So you need to make people care about the problem. So problem communication is important. But at the same time, we often forget to communicate about solutions, and especially solutions that people can implement in their everyday lives, and telling them how to do that. So if we leave that thing out, we make it very likely that people will either deny the problem or think it's so overwhelming that they cannot do anything about it.
You also mentioned that the window is closing. How much time do we have?
Well, that's basically a question that climate scientists have to answer, but from what I read from the latest IPCC report, it's now talk about a decade maximum where we have to achieve substantial reductions, which is on the one hand a bit scary because it's really short. On the other hand, it could also be a good trigger for now doing really stronger changes in society, because more and more people realize that we need to do that. And there is, in industry, for example, there are big companies that have understood that this is an issue that is relevant for them and that affects their businesses. So on the one hand, it's a very short window. On the other hand, this urgency might actually contribute to something.